Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I'm sorry last week we didn't get to meet. It was a little crazy. We were all out of sorts, and then we had some bad weather, but I bet it made for a lot of fun in the snow. Did you guys have a lot of fun in the snow? I got to go outside and play. It was a lot of fun. So let me know what you did, and let's go ahead and sing our hello song so we can get started. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. All right. So, I know it's still pretty early in this week, but if you think about it, next Monday, this coming Monday, the 17th, I believe, is going to be Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Well, who is Martin Luther King Jr.? And you may already know, and that's awesome if you do. If you don't, we're going to read a story about him. So he fought for equal rights for all people, and we're going to read a little bit about that. So let's get started on our story. So our story is called Martin's Big Words. And this is by Doreen Rapport, and it's illustrated by Brian Collier. Martin's Big Words. Everywhere in Martin's hometown, he saw the signs. White only. His mother said these signs were in all southern cities and towns in the United States. Every time Martin read the words, he felt bad, until he remembered what his mother told him. You are as good as anyone. So if you can see, he's using this water fountain, but this one says white only. Now what would that refer to? In church, Martin sang hymns, he read from the Bible, he listened to his father preach. These words made him feel good. When I grow up, I'm going to get big words too. Martin grew up. He became a minister like his father, and he used the big words he had heard as a child, from his parents and from the Bible. Everyone can be great. He studied the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. He learned how the Indian nation won freedom without ever firing a gun. Martin said love when others said hate. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So, Mr. Gandhi used nonviolence. He would not use violence. And that is what Martin is saying. We are going to love somebody instead of hate them. He said together when others said separate. He said peace when others said war. Sooner or later, all the people of the world will have to discover a way to live together. In 1955, on a cold December day in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks was coming home from work. A white man told her to get up from her seat on the bus so he could sit. She said no and was arrested. Montgomery's black citizens learned of her arrest. It made them angry. They decided not to ride the buses until they could sit anywhere they wanted. For 381 days, they walked to work and school and church. They walked in rain and cold and in blistering heat. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them until the white city leaders had to agree they could sit anywhere they wanted. When the history books are written, someone will say there lived black people who had the courage to stand up for their rights. So they won the right to have equal seating on the bus. In the next 10 years, Black Americans all over the South protested for equal rights. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. White ministers told them to stop. Mayors and governors and police chiefs and judges ordered them to stop. But they kept on marching. Wait, for years I have heard the word wait. We have waited more than 340 years for our rights. They were jailed and beaten and murdered, but they kept on marching. Some Black Americans wanted to fight back with their fists. Martin convinced them not to by reminding them of the power of love. Love is the key to the problems of the world. So remember, he liked Gandhi's ideas, and Gandhi said, let's not use our fists, but let's use love instead. Many white Southerners hated and feared Martin's words. A few threatened to kill him and his family. His house was bombed, his brother's house was bombed, but he refused to stop. Remember, if I am stopped, this movement will not be stopped, because God is with this movement. The marches continued. More and more Americans listened to Martin's words. He shared his dreams and filled them with hope. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. After 10 years of protests, the lawmakers in Washington voted to end segregation. The white-only signs in the South came down. So segregation means that they were separate. So when we saw the water fountain, one was for black people and one was for white people. That means that now they can choose whichever one. They can go to either. There is not one for a certain skin tone. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. cared about all Americans. He cared about people all over the world, and people all over the world admired him. In 1964, he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He won it because he taught others to fight with words and not fists. Martin went wherever people needed help. In April 1968, he went to Memphis, Tennessee. He went to help garbage collectors who were on strike. He walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. On his second day there, he was shot. He died. His big words are alive for us today. So in the back it has a whole timeline of what happened. So if you want to come to the library and check this out, it is a very good timeline. So what he was fighting for, what he wanted, was equal rights for everyone. And back then, if you were different, so you see you have two different water fountains, there was two different schools. There was two different of everything. You couldn't have the same place. So it's like if your friend has blonde hair and you have brunette hair, but you can't go to the same school because you have different colored hair. It's not right. Or if you have green eyes and your friend has blue eyes, and that means that you can't use the same library. So what he was fighting for was to say, even though we're different in certain ways, blonde hair, blue eyes, dark hair, green eyes, white skin, black skin, any kind of differences, tall, short, it doesn't matter, because we should all be equal, because we are all humans in the United States. And so that is what he fought for. So in order to honor Martin Luther King Jr., he has a holiday. And that means that we can honor him through different things. Maybe being kind to somebody, or doing something for someone else, or I think there's going to be a march on Monday the 17th that you could probably participate in with your family should you choose to. So you can definitely honor Martin Luther King Jr. and all of the things that he taught us with his big words. I hope you guys had a great day, and I will see you either for story time or Toddler Tales next week. All right, until then, let's say our goodbye song. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, guys. Have a great week.